If not, you're on the replay. That's great too. Just type in hashtag replay. Let me know that you stopped by. Today we are doing some cold weather crafting. And that can mean an army of anything, as far as maybe it's just a day that it's so cold outside you want to stay inside and craft and be warm. However, the Artistry Collective, which is hosted by Christy from Christy's Crafty Cottage, and includes myself, Christy, and Leah from Make All the Things With Me, are hopefully going to incorporate some snowflakes. At least that's my plan. We did finally get some snow here in Western Washington, so there's that. I'm ready for it to go away already. Okay, so let's get going. I have this fun snowflake book I've been trying to finish up, and I think I will just add a few pieces to that today. Now, this little wooden piece I got from Joann's just yesterday, and it's from their holiday craft. What does it say? Wood. It's a holiday craft wood shape from Place and Time. Now, these are on 80% off right now, so it was like 40 cents. How good is that deal? So we're going to go ahead and I don't know if I want to add it to the spine here. I think it might be kind of fragile and will break, but maybe we'll find a place to go in this beautiful journal. Let's see. So I've already got some other chipboard ones in here. I'm going to be doing a full flip through of this book soon. As soon as I decide I'm totally done with it. That's what happens when books hang out here for too long. I just keep adding to them and adding to them. All right, I think maybe it could go like right here. We can put it in up here somehow, maybe. I think that looks great. Now, if we want it to be functional, I mean, this is a pocket already, and this paper is fairly fragile. So, I mean, we could make it a tuck underneath, but I don't think I really want this page to be too much more because, like I said, this paper is super fragile. Who just arrived? Hello, hello. There's Rhonda. Good evening. Are you still freezing over there, Rhonda? It's in the 30s here, but I'm still cold, that's for sure. I got some ice water going on today. Feel like it's kind of fitting. Okay, so we're going to have a play with these thin wood. I love adding this thin wood shapes in my crafting, especially for my books. And then I did also find this trim. Now, I was a little bit irritated by this trim at first, Joann's. If you're listening, Joann's. When all of the Christmas things went on sale, this is labeled holiday trim, Place and Time, and it said Place and Time holiday stuff was all on sale. It was on like 70% off or something. They didn't include this in the sale. One of the cashiers finally just said, sure, whatever. And really what they told me at first was to just keep checking back to see if it was then added in their system. But I mean, the longer that takes, you know, I didn't want to just keep coming back to check, but look how beautiful it is. I did finally get it. I think they gave it to me at 50% off, and I was still willing to buy it at that because it is gorgeous. It's got some like little shimmery things in there. Now, if you are somebody who can crochet or knit these lovely little things, you know, go on. You could probably even sell just the trims. I am not one of those lovely individuals. Cannot. I can loom knit, but that's about it. And I can crochet in one big long line, and that's about it. But I just thought this would be really beautiful to add some of this, even some of this to the pages here, or even to cut these out and attach them as trim that way. Hi, Diana. Now, see, not every page has a whole lot on here, so this could be added as some belly band or as just some trim on the side there. How pretty is that? I love that. Now, this digitals is included from Guided Creation Printables. I forget what it's called. I think it's like Blue Winter or something. You'll see it when you head to her Etsy shop, though. Make all the things with me. There's Leah. Leah, if you could do me a favor and help me watch my time. My little clock that sits here on my desk has taken a dive. I thought I just needed to reset the clock. I did that already, and it's off the time again. So I think I'm going to have to step up to a better clock. So see, we could add this right here onto this printables as the belly band. I've got little Frosty right here. I love that. Can you guys see him? He is from an embossing folder. Love it. This is a really fun book. I really had fun making all the things with the Blue Winter. Oh, look how pretty that would be right there. I think that might need to happen. It just dresses up that pocket so much. And this snowflake is a little bit bigger. We could let it hang off the edge a little bit. That might be okay. Let's turn on the Ryobi. We'll get some glue going on. I do like this little scallop at the top here too. Now this is not going to go far. I think I just get a yard. What's that? I just tossed the packaging already too. No, it fell. There it is. Let me see if I can grab it and see how much you get. You don't get a lot, like I said. You get, 1 yard, 2.5 inches by 1 yard. So not much to work with there, but that's okay because it's so pretty. I don't think we're going to have to, put too much in here, but I do want to make sure. I have 2 signatures in this book, so 2 separate sections, 2 chapters, if you will. And I will want to put a little bit in this one and a little bit in that one so that it just adds to the cohesiveness of the design. All right, so I think I'm just going to cut this piece right here, and I'm going to cut it off at these little snowflakes so that they work better. Let's see. And I'm just going to use my hot glue. I know some people like to use Fabri-Tac or whatever. You do whatever glue works best in your situation. Now, some of the things that might change that for certain people is, well, availability of glue, your climate, your temperatures, all those things. I just love working with my hot glue as well, and it works really well for me for fabrics and trims and all the things. So there we go. And see, this snowflake here is a little bit bigger than my page. I'm going to be okay with that and just let it hang there. I think it's going to be kind of cool to just let it hang off the edge. Why not? Okay. There's this guy. Now I think that wooden snowflake that I have, I'm going to let it be a little bit interactive. I might put a brad on it and let it kind of hang around. Now we could totally go this way as well, but I think this pocket looks really great. Just a little bit of decorative accent there. And I love this little pocket here too. This little pocket might need a snowflake or two. Look at that. That could be fun. We could put it this way and have that trim be at the bottom. Then we do miss out a little bit on the texture of this corrugated cardboard, but it might be worth it. This is in the other signature, so decorating a pocket in each one could be good. What do you guys think? You like it right there? And then it kind of hangs up above here, over there. We could also do it more like this way. I think I kind of like it like that, actually. And let the scallop kind of go with the decorativeness of the corrugated cardboard there. I think that might have to happen. Very pretty. And see, and then it just takes little pieces of this trim just to kind of accent. And here I'm going to cut this here. And here. And then we'll try to find the end point up here somewhere. Just go right there. Perfect. Look how pretty that is. I just love that. And then this snowflake is going to hang over the edge of the paper, and I'm okay with that. I'm just going to let it do its thing. And look, I still have all these good trims left, so I may actually cut out one of these and add it to the dangle on the spine. Okay. Uh-oh. So we're waiting for the Ryobi to heat up. Is everybody staying warm out there in the snow? Thank you, Leah. Still raining and too cold. Yes, for sure. We do have some snow. I don't know how much we have out there. I'm not very good at the weather and all the things. I know that it is in the 30s out there. Let's see. Trying to decide which embossing powder I want to use this with. This one is clear. This one is my Uncharted Mariner Glaze. Ooh, and we have white. Now, if we use glaze is going to be transparent, so we'll be able to see through, but it will give it a tint of color, which I think is kind of what I'm looking for. But maybe we could also put some white embossing powder around the edges of the snowflake, and we'll just decorate this up. So let's get our trims glued in first. And then we'll have some fun with some embossing powder, which I haven't played with for a little while, so that'll be fun. I need to find some embossing ink. Let's see. It normally has a home, guys. And I found when things have a home, they actually get put back there. Although, maybe not in this case. Let's see. Crystal accents. Nope, nope, nope. Where did it go? Sorry, everyone. Well, okay. I have an embossing dabber that's somewhere. Oh, maybe it's right there. It's right there on the desk in front of me. Just too many things. Okay, I think it's right here. Let's see. Let's take a look. Yep, embossing dabber. All right, that's perfect. Okay, so we've got that. We've got that. Let's see. I think our hot glue is not going to work. So we're going to just... I've got to stop procrastinating and clean this desk. Oh, anybody else cleaning up this for the new year? Cleaning up their station, their craft room? I've gotten some new furniture, so it's been good and bad. You got up to 36 in Oklahoma. Whoop whoop. It's a warming trend. Oh gosh. Yeah. Too cold for me. I like it in the 60s. Oh. Higher 60s mostly. Okay, so again, this is just one of those decorative shapes. This is a really good time to get the After the Holidays ones from Joann's and Michael's both. Michael's usually has them in their ornaments section. And it's just super thin, kind of like a balsa wood, I guess. And we're going to go ahead and have a play. Yeah, my glue gun is not being happy. So, okay, the trims are going to go in there. Oh, look at that goodness. I love that. I love being able to see little things over the edge, especially when you've got it like this. So let's go ahead and work on our snowflake. And I think I do want to just give it a little dab with the Distress Paint. This one is Weathered Wood. So we're just going to go over it with some weathered wood paint real quick. And this is their dabber bottle. So when you do these, you want to just dab them like it says. And I do still tend to kind of brush it on here though afterwards. Like it's tempting to just want to brush it, right? And that sound is kind of annoying too, sorry. Now this you could make as an ornament. You could make it as a card front. You could use it in your junk journal like I'm going to do. You could, Use it for just about anything, really. You do want to be sure you're putting it somewhere, though, that it's going to be able to keep it safe because it is pretty thin. I don't want to say that it's flimsy or fragile because, I mean, it is still a piece of wood, but it does, it would break pretty easily, I think. Okay. So I'm not looking for full coverage on here. I just kind of wanted a little bit of a background color, so it wasn't the wood color. Give it kind of a fun little color. And then I'm going to use my heat tool, and we'll dry it up just a little bit. This paint is fairly thin, so it doesn't take a long time to dry, which is nice. And like I said, I'm going to go around the edges with the white embossing powder, so we don't have to worry about doing, this is going to be tacked down, so we don't have to worry about doing the back or really the sides, since I'm going to do those in white. Heat tool has not been hung back up where it goes. There we go. We'll give it a little heat. Thank you guys so much for doing the thumbs up and all the YouTube things. Up after me is Leah from Make All the Things With Me. And normally after her would be Christy from Christy's Crafty Cottage, but Christy has been very unwell lately, so sending huge well wishes to her. We don't feel like a full collective if one of our ladies is down, but we want to keep it going as well, so we all do our best to make it here when we can. So please excuse us when we can't be here, and still go and support our pages and our channels. Christy would very much like to be here, but she has been so under the weather. Under this crazy cold, crafty weather. Let's see. Let's do some of this. I want to get just some scripty font on there, and it doesn't have to say anything legible. Now, the cool thing about this is that we're going to put this embossing glaze over this, so we'll still be able to see some of this. There she is. Christy, you must have known I was talking about you. There's Christy, our fantastic host of all of our Artistry Collective events. We are sending you lots of well wishes and hopes that you will get better and join us again. We miss being a full collective. Yeah. Oh, there's Sharon. Hey, girl. Hey. Yeah, she's had like one thing after the other. It seems like one thing kind of triggers the next thing, and she just hasn't been able to be back to herself. So I hope that she does get better as well. Hi, Dana. Okay. Now, if you're a Diane Reevely fan, she says these little fairy steps, fairy taps as you're dabbing your ink on here. This is archival ink, so it's not water reactive, and it will be permanent on here. So I just want to add something a little interesting to this snowflake. Not that it's not, pretty on its own, but we're just going to accent it a little bit. Give something fun to look at underneath of the glaze. Okay, so there we go. There's that. I'll hold it up in just a second. You guys can see the little detail that left. I think it's fabulous, especially for a junk journal. Junk journals are always looking for ways that you can add interest. Gotta love a fairy. That's right. She says, I think she said, rather than like what did she say? Hippopotamus or giraffe or something, elephant steps. Like you don't have to, she was meaning you don't have to like chomp, chomp, chomp it. Like you can just be delicate and put your ink on there. She's so much fun to watch if you haven't watched her already. She's also one of the designers for Ranger Ink. And she loves to quilt. I wish I could quilt. I've tried and it just does not. I'm not a straight sewer, so I always seem to mess it up. Okay, here we go. Here is our snowflake. Look how fun that is. I just love this. Okay, so now we're going to come in with our embossing ink. This one's clear, which is nice. You can use any kind of embossing ink that you have. Typically, embossing ink is a pigment ink, so it's a little thicker than like a water-based ink, and it will stick. It'll stay sticky a little bit longer, which is great if you're trying to emboss, because then the embossing powder has something to stick to just a little bit longer. Okay, here we go. So I've got my Uncharted Mariner embossing glaze. Remember, the difference between glaze and embossing powder is the glaze will dry transparent, so you can see through it. We're going to be able to see this little bit of stamping that I put on there. And embossing powder dries opaque, so you can't see through it. And let's grab a little scrap piece of paper to pour my powder into. You were waiting for the blue. Yes, it's there. It's coming. All right. Now I have those little embossing trays and all the things, but usually what I most have handy will be scraps of paper. So I always just make myself a little tent. And you don't have to have this, but I like to tap things back off into here and then pour it right back into my container. All right. So we're going to open this. I'm going to try not to set it close to the edge. I don't know about you guys, but I am super clumsy, accident prone, all the things. All right. You can see I've gotten some glittery stuff in there before, but that's all right. I'm going to go ahead and maybe I do just want to set this down here. I want to get a good covering of this ink. Is it coming out? Can I see it? Let's do it. I'll do it. Okay. It's a dabber again, so you don't want to like smush like this really, but you do want to dab it so that it comes out. And sometimes you got to give it a little squeeze to get the ink flowing. There it comes. Don't forget to click the thumbs up and share if you can. Oh, yes. Thank you, Christy. And give Christy's page a big thumbs up and follow and subscribe and do all the things. Last I checked, Christy was so close to getting that 1,000, which is a huge goal here on YouTube. You got to get your 1,000 subscribers and a whole boatload of watch time minutes. So there's that. It's so funny. I remember getting to that first 1,000 seemed like it took forever. And everybody said you had to make your first 100 junk videos. And I was so offended by that. I was like, my videos aren't junk, but wow, I've grown a long ways. And I still get comments sometimes, I can't hear you, or the video orientation's not good, or the video quality's not good. And when I look, I'm like, oh, that was from when I first started out. So excuse those first 100 videos. Watch them on silent, use the closed captioning, whatever it is. Turn that volume way up if you have to. The content is still good. I just was learning to do my videos. Okay, hopefully that's going to be enough. We're going to go over this here. Now we're going to start pouring the embossing powder right on over it, kind of at an angle, so it lands in my little tray here. And don't worry about how much I'm using. Most of it does go right back into the jar. See, we can grab this little tent and pour it right back into the jar. And then we'll do the other side, and then we'll heat set it. And hopefully we get a lovely Uncharted Mariner little tint to this snowflake. And then once we've heat set that, we will go in and add in some white embossing powder to the ends as well. Okay, looks like I did get a nice coverage on there. Go ahead and put this back. Now, one other thing to notice too is that I didn't really tap on the snowflake. Um, some people really tap, tap, tap on their projects when they are embossing. And I mean, if you're getting the look that you like, then great, keep doing what you're doing. But otherwise, if you're looking to try to keep some more of that embossing glaze or powder on there, don't tap quite as much. Just give it a little tap to get the stuff that's loose off. But you don't want to tap, 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 tap a bunch because it'll take all the embossing glaze or powder right off of your project. Okay, I'm just sweeping up a little bit here. And we're going to put this right in here. I am one that likes to enclose the jar of embossing powder as quickly as I can. Yes, I'm going to be using the heat tool. I'm not really worried about the whole jar going to melt, but mostly it's because the sooner I can get that closed, the better I know that I'm not going to spill it everywhere. Okay, so let's go ahead and give this. Now, this is wet embossing, so it has to be heat set. Dry embossing you do with your embossing folders or a stylus or something of that nature. This form is with wet ink, and yes, there's dry powder, but it has to be heat set. So I like to use some kind of tweezers because it gets hot. And here we go. Let's set it. Yeah, I love watching it melt too. So great. Now, while this is hot, you can still add some more of the glaze on there if it missed some spots. I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going to put some of the white embossing powder on there. And it'll be okay. But do know that if you miss some spots, you can easily touch it up just by adding some of that on there while it's still wet. Look how pretty this, so we can still see a little bit of the stamping behind and underneath there. And let's see, make sure I got it all. Looking great, right? Super fun. I love that. Okay, so now we're going to go through with our white. I'm going to go ahead and tap this because I don't want to have any of that glaze in there. And sometimes what I'll also do is I'll just turn it inside out this way so I know that there is no, I don't want to contaminate the jar of the white with this other stuff. And I do have a cute little vacuum somewhere right underneath all of my stuff that I like. There it is, that I like to use. It's just a little desk vacuum. I guess I should put this in my Amazon store. And it's perfect for cleaning up any of that extra embossing powder or glitter or anything like that. And it all is just collected in there. It's so great. I love it. Love it, love it. You have everything to do and you just haven't tried it yet. Dana, you need to. It's so much fun. Christy, yes, I know. When you're sick, it's no fun not being able to go in and craft. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I wanted to put the white along the edges. So we're going to go back in and dab. And what we could do is just do one little section of it at a time. We could easily dip into this embossing powder, or we can pour. I'm more of a pourer, but there's really no wrong way. And see how that's just going to be like that? It's going to give it like frosted little tips. You love your little mini vacuum too. You need a new one though because you got a little hole in the filter. Oh no, I didn't even know it could do that. I got mine last year for my birthday and it's just been wonderful. I love it. All right, let's pour some more. Get any on there. It's supposed to. There we go. And then I'm just, you can stop and you can heat set this half, or you can kind of keep going. Oop, that one, that just brushed my glaze right off of there. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and heat set this part of it first. That's why usually I try to do the whole thing because then I'm not like open and close, but oh no. You've had it for years, so it's just time for a new one. Yeah, sometimes that just happens. Maybe something you vacuumed up punctured it or something. I don't know. All right, here we go. Okay, see how that just kind of frosted all those tips along there? I love that. Okay, now we'll keep going. And if you didn't, if you didn't get as much as you were hoping for, you can go back and add more. You can add more ink and then add more embossing powder. On some of them, though, I do think it's kind of pretty just having just a little bit. But we're going to add just a little bit more here. We'll skip that one. We'll let that one just have a little bit. Do this one. That is trying to pull that glaze off just a little bit. I bet it would have stuck a little better if I did like some gesso underneath or something. I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and we'll put just a little bit. And see, just a little tapping. We don't want to tap too much because then it will all come off. Dump that right back in there. Close this guy so I don't get anything on it. And then we'll go ahead and vacuum up again. If you don't have one of these, you can use a Swiffer, or you can just use like the edge of your paper and just kind of brush it off like this right into your trash bin or whatever it is that you have. And let these melt again. Okay, and also remember these tools are hot. This heat tool is a embossing tool, and I've talked about them before on my Tool Talk Tuesday on Facebook. I compared them to the heat of a hairdryer and the difference between this one and that one and all those things. So if you're interested in any of that information, I do have that over on Facebook. I believe all of my Tool Talk Tuesdays are in a series, so that they are easy for you to find over there. Okay, look how fun that is. I just love it. And we can still see a little bit of that scripty font coming through. And then we're not done there. I like to have things sparkle and shimmer. So I have one of these sheer shimmer sticks. It's also a dauber by Imagine. Now, see, we were just talking about this on Tool Talk Tuesday. Do you call it a dauber or a dabber? And this company calls it a dauber. Yeah, do not try to dry your hair with it. That would be really awful. Now, I don't know that this is going to stick on because we put this glaze over it, but I do want to try to add some shimmer. Yeah, it would seriously burn your skin if you tried to use it as a hairdryer. And if you try to use a hairdryer to do some of these tools, it will have some drying properties, but honestly, you're going to be more frustrated than anything else because I guess what is the scientific term? The velocity of the wind that comes out is angled at a different way, and it's just going to blow all your powder right off of there. Okay, here we go. No, it'll make it fall out and burn. It'll be horrible. Okay, there we go. We got some shimmer going on there. I wish you guys could see how pretty that is here in person. Super pretty. All right, now we have to decide by putting it into our book, do we want to put it in just at the top, or do we want to put a brad in the center here so that it can rotate? Let me grab the book back out and we'll see which is going to be. I'm putting it on a page that's a pocket, so probably would have been easiest to put this on there before I made the book a pocket, but that's okay. I wanted it to go on that pocket page. There it is, on this page here. So I want it to go here. And look how well that matches with this color. That Uncharted Mariner really just matches right there. Perfect. Now, if I want to use a brad, I think that's doable. And then our snowflake would spin around. I love making interactive pieces. My only concern, though, is this paper is super fragile. All right. We'll make it work. Okay. So the next part we're going to do, don't freak your freak. It's totally okay. The crocodile is designed to punch through just about anything that can fit in this little bit of space right here. And I typically love putting it to the test. The only thing I found that it cannot really do is bulletproof glass. And I did not know that I was doing it through bulletproof glass. That was just a total accident. I don't know if it's going to be able to reach. These prongs are so thin right there. I wanted to get it into there. All right, let's do the big bite. We'll pull out the big bite and make it work. It is designed to punch through little thin pieces of metal, thinner pieces of wood. Just don't chomp it through bulletproof glass. That's the only way I've been able to break one of these tools. And trust me, I put them to the test. All over the years, I have made it work super hard. Okay, so we're going to push this to our 3/16 hole. It's going to punch down here. And we're going to set this. I kind of want it to go kind of in the center. I usually will kind of set it, not squeeze it so hard right away, but just kind of temporarily squeeze it just a little bit so I can see where it's going to go. Kind of audition, make sure it's where I want it to go. And when I've got it in there, we're just going to give it a squeeze. Ooh, that's loud. All right, and it worked perfectly. There, it even shot right out of there. Now, I also did that on top of my glass mat, something I've been totally afraid to do. Tim Holtz did say that these glass mats have been product tested, and it's tempered glass and all these things. And I just kept thinking, yeah, but if I can break it, I probably will. I haven't been able to yet. Not that I've totally been trying, but I just thought, you know, as much as I use like crocodiles and things like that, I would be able to break it, but I haven't just yet. So that's a good thing. All right, there we go. That Big Daddy bite. That's the crocodile too, called the Big Bite. Yes, I love it. It gives you that extra reach. Okay. So also what we're going to do here, just to give our page a little more support, we're going to put a little piece of tape down where I'm going to put this hole, so that as the brad is turning all around in there, it's hopefully it won't rip this paper. So I'm going to figure out how to fit a million things in this tiny little space, first of all. I do have a really full, big room here, but I really messed it up. Okay, so let's see how much space we have back here. We've got pretty good amount of the prong, and we'll see where this needs to go. I want it to go over here so it can spin. So what we could do is take this brad out, position it where we want it to, and then we'll just put a little pen mark there. And I don't want to go through the whole thing because it's a pocket, and I don't want to pierce through this beautiful page over here. So many rules for this little piece of thing to work. Goodness. Okay, so we can see it's going to kind of work right there. I'm going to take this piece of tape, and it's just clear Scotch tape. We're just going to put it right there. You're always worried you're going to break your glass mat. Yeah, it hasn't done it yet. Not to say that I won't manage it, but it hasn't done it yet. Okay, then I'm going to put my fingers in around this tape here and make a little poke. Watch your fingers and don't let it poke through the other page on the other side. So just literally through the one. And then we'll put our little brad here with our snowflake. And try to get our brad in there. Poking it right through that tape, hopefully. There it goes. And then we have to flatten those little brad tabs out. If you get them from Michael's, you can use coupons. Oh, you got the Big Bite first. Yeah. So, you know, that's, people always ask me which one is better to get if you can only get one. Well, depends on what you craft with it. If you make a lot of ephemera and you don't really bind your books, then it's no big deal. Or if you do the slip spine method, so that the brads are, not the brads, if you use eyelets for your spines, let's see, let's take a look here. Like this one, these are snowflake eyelets. And I could reach those with my handheld crocodile, the small one, because it only has to go in here on both ends. If you do like a 3-hole pamphlet stitch or a 5-hole pamphlet stitch or 6 holes or however many, if you want to get the holes in the center here is what I'm trying to tell you, you're going to need the Big Bite too. And like I just did, I couldn't reach to the center of that snowflake with my smaller crocodile, so I needed the bigger one. Over the years, I've managed to collect both, so it's been wonderful. But if you're still in your beginning stages, you know, the Big Bite 2 might be the best option because it can do everything. If you buy that one, you definitely don't need to buy the other one. But at the same time, I love this one. It's just easy to grab. It's right here. When I need it, I can just punch my tags and do all my things, and it is good to go. So it's just a matter of what you need. And yes, a lot of times you can use them at Michael's or Joann's with a coupon, and you can get a sale there, provided they're not on sale. I found a lot of times, Joann's especially, because that's where I've been frequenting more regularly, they put it on sale, even just the slightest sale for them, an extra 10% off or something, but it's so that then you can't use it as one of your coupon items because the coupon item has to be not on sale. Mr. Frapps says just buy the tools. Honestly, the tools are a very good investment in your crafting because you don't want to buy the crap tools, but you want to buy things that are going to make your crafting easier and more enjoyable. And they're not consumable. I mean, if you are using eyelets and things with them, those are consumables, but to have the tool to punch holes with, just in that in itself, my kids would always take it because they would be trying to expand their belt holes or their purse holes. And I was always like, where's my crocodile? So I have more than one. And I also have more than one because I used to run a store, and during class times we would use more than one. But I use the small one a lot, unless if I'm bookbinding and I'm trying to get to that center, or like in this case when I tried it wouldn't work because these aren't small enough for me to get that tool in there. But look at this, I love this, and this can move now. If the tools are pretty, it's better. Hey, they do make them in a lot of colors. Over the years, they have made these handles in different colors. Pink was their original color. And then this one's purple. I've seen turquoise. I've seen orange. And then the Big Bite chomper handles, I've seen those in different colors as well. This is their chomper, their corner chomper. And let me tell you, it is, for the longest time, I used a Creative Memories corner rounder. And when I switched to this, it was just so much better for me because I do a lot of like cardboard, chipboard, that kind of stuff, thicker things, thicker cardstock. And this one, I can grab several pages all at once and just do the chomping, which is so, so wonderful. So you have all of yours in turquoise. That's awesome. I've gotten mine at different times throughout the years. And I used to have an orange Big Bite, and that one's kind of my backup now. You don't need a backup. These are my favorite tools, though, so I feel like I do. And I do tend to collect these ones in the old style if I can find them used, like at thrift stores or garage sales or marketplace or wherever. And you'll tell the old ones from the new ones. The new ones have this little black piece of plastic that's like a little slider mechanism here rather than this little round dial-y thing that's metal. I do tend to lean towards the metal. I'm a metals kind of a girl, but it does work a little better, I think. Probably cost them a little more to make, and it was some way that they thought they could save some costs a little bit. But I do appreciate this metal slider. Some people don't even use this part of their tool, though, but you're missing out if you're not using it. It is a depth guide setter, so you can set the depth here like this, and then you can slide your paper to punch your holes at the same depth. So you don't even have to measure. You can just put your paper in and punch along that depth guide, and they're going to be straight all in a row. Whoops, unless if you move it. I didn't tighten it enough. But you can see all of these ones are nice and straight because I just set the edge of the paper along that depth selection, and then they're all going to be straight without having to measure and put dots or marks or whatever, which I think is fantastic. How are we doing on time, Leah? I think I still have a few minutes left to go, but I love this, and maybe you noticed or maybe you didn't. I did put a piece of Scotch tape in here to also kind of help the paper around this brad from moving, and when we do put stuff inside this pocket, it could catch on there. So I may still wind up putting a piece of paper, like a round piece of paper around there as well. Yes, that is a game changer. But I love that this can move. I love that it matches this. I love that we can see the scripty font in under there. We still have some of the white tipping. I love that it just kind of goes and it gives my pocket a little extra decoration. Now this book was supposed to be done, but like I said, how do we know when they're done is a whole nother topic. And a lot of times I find the longer they stay here, the more I find things I can just easily add to them. I do have these die cut words that says, let it snow somewhere. There we go. We could easily put that back here. I don't know if we need it though. Let's just see what it looks like. Let it snow. It's kind of cute. I kind of like that. Or we could put this on the journaling card that can go on the inside so it doesn't mess up any of the turning. But I think when I glue this down, it might be okay. What do you guys think? Should we put it there? I think as long as we glue it down, it won't be a bother. Oh, you like the book. Thank you. Yes, I've had so much fun making this book. I've got this paper here. You like it there, Sharon. All right, we'll glue it down. This paper here is from a paper pad from Hobby Lobby, so Paper Studio. This is really old hymnal page. But then the rest of it, well, this is just textured cardstock. But then the rest of it, like these beautiful prints here, are from Guided Creation printables. And I just love the mix of blues. I really do. This light patterned here is just some cardstock as well. All right, let's glue this in. And then that bobble page, maybe we'll add a few shimmers too as well. Somebody put a piece of fabric around their glue bottle, and I think I need to do that. And then every time you are using it, you poke your little pin right into there so that you don't lose it, because I keep losing mine. I have one I cannot even find. I don't know where it went. I cheated and got a new bottle out and used the pin from that. So somewhere around here is a rogue orange pin. And if anyone's going to find it, it'll be Remy. Ugh. Yesterday, Sharon, remember? Yesterday was her gotcha day. So we've had her for 2 years now. And yesterday, she ate one of Mr. Frapp's headphones, his little earbuds. So she was on a not good list. I don't know what her deal is. She likes to get up on his side table and take things. And she doesn't do good things to them. It's not even that she's just taking them to hide them. She is literally taking them to destroy them. You always lose the pin too, Leah, I know. Yeah, it's a good thing she's cute or something like it. Because, man, she's cost us a lot of money in the last 2 years, that's for sure. All right, let's put this, we want it to go underneath our snowflake. I want it to be kind of at an angle, just for added interest, and we'll push it in here and make sure it's down all the way. And then, like I said, I love having these interactive pieces in my journals. It doesn't take much to make them, but just the fact that it can move and spin is kind of fun when you are getting to the page. I think I have, like this one here is sewn, so it can flip up. And that one will spin around. Yeah, that's why they're made so cute, because we have spent a small fortune on her. She gets pancreatitis, so she has to have a prescribed diet. She is a young dog, but she already has arthritis because she's she's the corgi long in the middle kind. Here we go. Here's another snowflake. This one is chipboard, and it spins around, and it's also a little tuck spot. Now this one is a piece of corrugated cardboard that I used my die cutter on, and then I used one of the 3D texture fades to kind of smash it down, and also to add in those dry embossing little bumps on there. All right, these are baubles, and I really think that they need some shimmer stick. Yeah, just like human kids, they cost us a lot of money. At least with our fur babies, they can't talk back as much. Which snowflake, Sharon? Which one? The other one? I think I answered that already. It's just chipboard. Where'd it go? This one is wood. This one is chipboard. Or cardboard, actually. Not even chipboard, it's cardboard. 5 minutes. All right. Yeah, this one here is just cardboard. So it's the cardboard, like just a regular piece of a box. And then I cut it out with my die cutter, and then I squished it with the 3D texture fade to make it really thin, and also put this embossed little dots on there. All right, in our last few minutes, let's just go ahead and add some shimmer to these baubles, because why not? I feel like they need to shimmer a little bit, especially if they're going to be in the center of the signature here. I don't know if you guys can see the shimmer coming out or not. I'll hold it up here so you can hopefully see it. This shimmer stick is a great way to glitter, especially if you don't want glitter all over your house. I don't personally mind leaving a little sparkle everywhere, but this way does kind of control it just a little bit, and it definitely adds shimmer, not chunky glitter, but shimmer. Okay. So hopefully you can see the sparkles on them. And I think that is just something really fun you can do that adds not a lot of bulk, but it is something very pleasing to the eye. Like, I love this. You just ordered a new shimmer stick. Yes, they're lovely. Oop, I skipped one. Don't skip one. All the shimmers. We need them all. I skipped that little one and then this one. They do sell these shimmer sticks. I found mine at a trade show, but I also have seen them at Joann's. And, of course, in Amazon. This one is by Imagine. I'll put it in my Amazon store, so if you guys check it out there, you can find it there. The company's name is Imagine. They're called Sheer Shimmer Sticks, and it's a dauber. And this one is in Sparkle. I love it. All right, so thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for cold weather crafting with me. And remember, I will get these glued down. I think my battery is not happy on my glue gun right now, but I will get that glued in here. I'm going to put this one here, and then the other one is going to go right here. And this piece is just a piece of corrugated cardboard that is painted. So I didn't squish this one down or anything. I sprayed the cardboard with water and then divided it, and then I just was rubbing wax and acrylic paint on there as I was working along with another project. So that's how I got that cool effect. And then now I think I'm going to cover some of it up with this trim just because it's so beautiful. So I will glue that in there. And I'll probably try to glue just the tops so this can still kind of move a little bit. I like some of the things in my journals to have a little bit of free movement. Yes, you guys are so welcome. And part of this live event is my fellow crafty sisters. So up after me here is Leah with Make All the Things With Me. Her link is in the description. And Christy won't be joining us to craft today, but definitely go check out her page as well. She hosts this event, and the Artistry Collective was her making. So there she is right there, Christy's Crafty Cottage. Go give her page a like and a thumbs up and all of those YouTube-y things so that we can all work on our wonderful goals into this new year. And I hope everybody stays warm and drinks cocoa and does all those cold weather things. Stay in and craft. All right, let's go check out what Leah is crafting up for us in this cold weather craft event. Thanks, everyone, and I'll see you next time here on Frapps and Scraps.